Good day to everyone. For this video lecture, the topic is on the herd management of dairy cattle. So, this is like the herd management topic that we've discussed on the swine production. Pero ngayon, it's on dairy cattle. So, I will also be discussing about dairy goats. So, for this lecture, I will be discussing specifically on the herd management or the management practices that we need to employ on the calf, yung mga batang cow, yung mga calf, yung mga kapapanganak na mga calf. So, last video lecture, I've talked about the feeds, the feeding management that we need to employ sa mga dairy animals natin. And so I will not be discussing further on in this video lecture yung mga feeding management since na-discuss na. So more on the general management practices that we need to employ lang yung i-discuss natin for this herd management of dairy cattle. So for the management of calves, care and management of the calf starts even before the calf is dropped. So, yun daw. So, yung care and management daw ng calf, magsisimula yan kahit hindi pa pinapanganak yung calf, yung orbon, tibaka. So, ang gagawin mo dyan, hours before calving, dapat na naka-ready na lahat. Nalinis na yung kung saan manganganak yung cow, nalinis na in order to prevent any bacterial infection. Tsaka lahat ng gamit na kailangan mo in preparation for the calving, in to take care of the calf once it is expelled, dapat naka-ready na lahat. So, yung care and management, nag-start yan before the calf is dropped. Then, the calving area is, yun nga, dapat disinfected and provided with bedding material such as rice hull. So, kailangan na malinis na, disinfect na yung lugar kung saan manganganak yung cow. And then, you could provide itong bedding material parang dito. So, this bedding material will act as a caution for the calf as well as para hindi direct yung body nila to the flooring. Kasi itong rice hull na to, these are considered pwedeng parang brooding materials to eh. So, these are mainit to. So, parang source of warmth, source of heat na rin ng mga calf itong bedding material, itong rice hull na tinatawag. So, the udder of the cow due to calf must be cleaned. So, ang purpose nito, kung bakit natin lilinisan yung udder ng calf is para pag nagsak or nagsuso na yung calf, malinis yung teats, meaning hindi papasok ngayon yung mga bacteria, yung mga foreign substances or foreign objects doon sa body ng calf natin, kung malinis yung udder natin. Then, you need to avoid drafts in the maternity ward. So, when we say draft, ito yung mga things that can cause stress doon sa cow. Lalong-lalo na if manganganak na, kailangan ma-avoid natin to. So, stresses can come in some forms. So, one is yung kailangan na yung wind. So, kailangan na you need to secure yung mga doors, yung mga windows para hindi mahalata, lalong-lalo na if windy, para hindi mahalata na malakas yung hangin. Kasi kung mahalata na malakas yung hangin, and then nag-open and close yung mga windows, nag-open and close yung mga door, then this may cause stress to the animal. Another one is the presence of predators. So, pag may mga aso, pwede yung mga aso, if takot yung cow sa mga aso, and then sumama sa'yo yung aso mo, that may cause stress to the animal also. So, we need to avoid this. We need to avoid drops in the maternity ward. And then, the caretaker must watch for the approximate time for calving. So, malalaman mo naman yan kung makikita mong lalabas na. So, the caretaker must be there. Kailangan na tinututukan mo yan. From the start wherein nagka-calf na. From the start na alam mong lalabas na yung animal, dapat yung calf, dapat nandun ka na. Dapat nakikita mo na. You ready ka na to take care of it. So, yun yung gagawin. So, however, assistance during calving should be rendered only when necessary. So, yun. Pag nakita mong nahihirapan na mga anak na mailabas nung cow, yung calf, doon ka lang mag-i-intervene, doon ka lang mag-offer ng assistance. Pero, pag nakita mo naman na nilalabas naman nung calf, nilalabas naman yung cow, yung anak niya, hindi naman siya nahihirapan, then, yung gagawin mo lang is mag-standby ka lang. Huwag mong pakialaman since this may cause complication on the birthing process. Baka agpauyo, DJ baka, no mapamusagid-sagidin, Jerome Romual nga, calf. So, yun. Dapat you should offer assistance only if necessary. Then, when there are difficulties, seek the assistance of veterinarian. Kung talagang nahihirapan na, and then, like for example, mali yung orientation ng cow, ay yung calf, mas nauna yung isang paa, tapos na-stuck yung isang paa, kaya hindi mailabas nung cow. Then, if you are not that parang experienced, and then you are not that confident on your skill dun sa pag-a-assist, then you should seek the assistance of the veterinarian. So, kailangan na tawagan mo na since sila yung expert doon. So, these are some of the guidelines in taking care of the calf. So, pag nailabas na yung calf, ito yung mga kailangan natin gawin. Ito yung mga guidelines na kailangan natin gawin. So, first, you need to allow the dam to clean the calf. So, drain out the mucus from the nose and mouth of the calf. So, kailangan na pag nailabas na yung calf, yung instinct ng nanay ngayon is to clean the calf. I-clean niya yun from yung sa mga mucus, sa kanyang body, doon sa nose and mouth. The mother cow will take an effort talaga to clean yung newly born calf. So, yun yung gagawin. Didilaan at didilaan niya. Then, when bleeding is difficult, raise the calf by its hind legs to drain out the mucus in the nose or throat. Or lay the calf on its side and apply compression on the rib cage. So, this is kaya importante na kahit hindi kailangan ng assistance ng cow during yung calving process, once na nanganak na kasi, kailangan na may parang nagbabantay. So, in cases like this, kung medyo difficult yung breeding ng calf, yung gagawin mo is kukunin mo yung hind legs niya, yung dalawang legs niya sa likod, and then iaangat mo siya, in which yung position na ngayon is upside down na. Yung ulo niya nasa baba na. So, this will parang make it easier for the mucus that could be stuck dun sa nose and throat niya to go down. So, with the aid of the gravity. So, kaya ganun, kaya inaangat natin, we raise the hind legs of the calf para ma-drain out yung mga mucus in the nose or throat. Or kung hindi man, you could lay yung calf on its side and then mag-a-apply ka ng pressure. Iko-compress mo ngayon yung rib cage. So, this is done to stimulate yung mga lungs, yung mga hearts niya to pump out blood, pump up of oxygen. So, baka kailangan niya lang ng stimulation yung newly born calf. Kaya, pwede rin ganun. I-compress, i-apply mo ng pressure yung rib cage. Then, after that, tie the navel cord of the calf about 3 cm away from the body. Cut off the navel 2 cm below the tied portion and soak the cut navel on tincture of iodine and of the affected wound powder. So, yung ginagawa, iniipit. Kung wala kang pang-ipit, pwedeng itay mo yung navel cord. So, yung navel cord, yung pagtatay, 3 cm away from the body, away from the base of the navel cord. So, doon mo siya itatay, doon mo siya ikla-clamp. Now, after clamping, 2 cm below yung nagtayan mo, doon ka magkakat. So, meaning, 3 cm, so tandaan, 3 cm, doon mo siya itatay, and then, from that portion, from the tying portion, may-measure ka ulit ng 2 cm, and doon mo siya ikakat. So, after cutting, itatay mo, ibababad mo. Hindi yung babad na matagal, just dip yung tight portion in yung mga iodine or any wound powder. Ididip mo siya. This is to prevent any infection na pwedeng pumunta doon sa opening, doon sa cut, sa wound ng navel cord. So, yun yung ginagawa. Dinidip in iodine and then, or any wound powder na kailangan. So, after that, you can assist the calf to suckle the first milk or yung colostrum as early as possible. So, this is important in many livestock. Yung mga mammals natin na livestock, kailangan na always make sure that they are suckling yung first milk, yung colostrum na tinatawag. So, dapat na-suck na nila yon kasi yung colostrum, as you all know, yung colostrum is full of nutrients, full of vitamins, and antibodies that can help in the growth, in the early growth and development of the calf. So, kailangan talaga na they suckle the colostrum. Be sure that the calf is sucking yung clean teats. So, always make sure na yung teat na sinususuan, yung suckling na calf is malinis. As common sense, kung marumi yan, then baka may mga bakterya pa na papasok doon sa calf natin. So, kailangan na malinis yung teeth. Then, the calf may be allowed with the dam for a maximum of 3 days, or it may be separated immediately at birth, provided the calf has suckled the first milk. So, pwede daw na, since we're talking about dairy animals to, kasi itong nanay, uh, at the least amount of time possible, dapat na wiwin na itong animal para gawin ng dairy ito, para pagkunan na ng milk. So, the calf may be allowed with the dam for a maximum of 3 days. So, maximum lang ng 3 days. So, bambiit lang talaga. Compared it to swine na medyo mga nasa 35 days, mga ganun, 30 to 35 days bago mo iwin yung swine doon sa nanay. Eh, itong calf, 3 days lang yung maximum pa yan. 3 days lang yung maximum wherein you need to win the animal. Or if you don't wanna do that, yung 3 days na maximum, you may separate yung calf immediately at birth. Provided that nakapag-suckle na yung calf with the colostrum ng nanay. So, pwede rin, in later cases, you can take the colostrum of the mother and then feed it artificially to the calf. So, pwede mong kunin yung colostrum and then ikaw na yung magpapasuso doon sa calf. So, yun. So, some guidelines for the care of calves. Another one is watch for the expulsion of the afterbirth. That is within 5 to 6 hours after birth. Dispose of properly the afterbirth and litter. So, yan. Yeah, as you can see on the picture, this is what we call as a afterbirth, yung placenta na tinatawag. So, in most cases, kinakain yan ng cow. So, pwede rin na i-dispose mo. You can dispose of it properly. So, kailangan na tinitignan mo pa rin. Minomonitor mo pa rin yung nanay. Kasi within 5 to 6 hours after birth, so medyo matagal. So, as soon as possible, you weigh the calf and identify it by ear notch or by ear tag, neck or neck chain. So, yun yung gagawin. So, as soon as possible, you can weigh the calf and identify it by ear notch or by ear tag. So, weighing can give you an estimate if the cow is big or not. So, yung weigh kasi, yung weight at young age, this can be a good indicator kung maganda ba yung growth rate ng animal. So, you can weigh this and then for record purposes na rin. And then, speaking of record purposes, you could practice yung ear notching or ear tagging na. So, whatever your preference may be. So, in ear tagging, lalagyan mo siya ng tag wherein doon sa tag, nandun yung number ng calf na yon. So, in the future, itong number na to, itong numbering system na to, this could allow you to parang make para makapagbuo ka ng isang breeding plan, parang hindi ka magkakalito-lito kung sino yung i-breed mo, sino yung na-breed na, so mga ganun. So, speaking of ear notching, ganito yung a sample system of numbering calves by ear notching. So, pwede dito. So, you can see, dito mo siya ina-notch. So, meaning, ito ay number 10. Number 10 siya. If may notch pa dito, tsaka may notch pa dito, meaning, this is number 100. If may notch pa dito, and then may notch dito, tapos may notch doon, meaning, this is 200. What if may notch naman dito, and then dito sa katabi niya may notch rin, then meaning this is number 20 na calf. So yun. So I've discussed this specifically on your swine production on the ear notching. Same principle, magkaiba lang ng mga number. So please go over it again if nalilito pa kayo kung ano yung paano mag-numbering or paano mo basahin yung uh, ear notch nitong mga livestock natin. So, for those having difficulties raising calves artificially, the calves may be allowed with the dam during the day after milking and separated from the dam at the night. So, doon daw sa mga producers, yung mga racers na medyo nahihirapan or medyo nahihirapan yung calf na wala yung nanay, hindi siya nakakapag-grow ng maayos, then yung gagawin is you allow yung calf to be with its mother during the day, and then after that day, after nung nasa evening na, i-separate mo ulit siya. So yun, yung gagawin. So this will be advantageous since makakasak na yung or makakasak um, yung calf doon sa nanay during the day. And then on the at night, makakapag-rest naman ng buo yung nanay. Then another one is you need to groom the calves whenever possible. So this will make it more pleasing in the eyes. Mas maganda yung appearance kung mas maganda yung grooming for the calf. Another one is that when we say grooming kasi hindi lang yung parang pagpapaayos doon sa hair, sa appearance ng animal. So this will also include cleaning yung animal. So this may also have a part on its health since nililinisan mo, so yung mga parasites, mga bacteria na kumakapit sa kanya, mawawala. So, this will minimize yung pag-occur ng disease doon sa animal. Then, allow the calves to have daily exercise in the open dry lot. So, pag bata pa kasi yan, it is parang mas mabilis yung growth and development. So, by having him exercise, by giving him yung space, this will stimulate yung mga bones to develop. This will mas maganda para sa calf na it is have may exercise in a open dry lot. Then another one is you do not paint calf pens with lead-based paints, or you leave yung mga paints, yung mga paint can around. So these are yung mga lead-based paints. These are toxic doon sa animal. So this may lead to some metabolic diseases. So in painting yung mga houses nila, you can use yung mga lead-free paint na tinatawag in order. So, in the process, meron rin tayong tinatawag na dehorning. So, in dehorning, one of the main reasons bakit kailangan natin mag-dehorn is to prevent yung injury among the calf. So, since these are mga bata, they tend to be playful. So, by dehorning, pine-prevent natin yung injury since nire-remove natin yung horns which are somewhat sharp na pwede maka-injure doon sa mga ibang calves. So, yung mga calves can be dehorned using yung mga chemical. Pwede yung caustic ng potash or yung soda. Pwede rin yung electric dehorners and yung hot iron. Yung electric dehorners at saka yung hot iron, ito yung method that is considered as the most practical, especially on a backyard operation. So, the cost for this electric dehorner and hot iron compared to the caustic potash or soda na mga chemical, it may be a little bit expensive pero magagamit mo na lahat ito. Magagamit mo to na matagal. So, the cost can be minimal and then um, yung pagre-regrow ng horn which is a problem, ma-prevent if yung um, gagamitin mo is yung dehorner or yung hot iron. So, first thing that you need to do in dehorning, you need to dehorn the calves only when the horn buttons can be felt. Kung may makita ka na talaga na parang tumutubo na mga horns doon sa calf mo, doon ka lang mag-ano. Kung wala ka pang nakikita, huwag ka muna mag-dehorn. So, in dehorning, with hot iron, first thing you need to do is you heat the soldering iron, yung hot iron. So, i-heat mo yan. So, medyo matagal. So, yun yung una mong gagawin. Isasaksak mo, then i-heat mo. Papainitin mo until na makita mong red hot na. Then, after that, after a minute, you properly restrain the calf. So, in restraining the calf, dapat properly secured yung head niya, hindi gumagalaw. Kasi pag gumagalaw yan, it may injure the calf or another scenario, it may injure you. You could injure yourself. So, dapat properly restrained siya. Doon sa head, doon sa body, dapat hindi niya maigalaw hindi niya maigalaw. Para sa ganun, mas easier for you to dehorn it and then mas minimize yung mga accidents. So, dehorning, the calves only when the soldering iron is thoroughly heated. Then, after mo na heat, you apply it firmly on the horn buttons. Yung para maliliit pa lang na horns, doon mo siya i-apply. So, yung gagawin is parang tutunawin ngayon nung yung soldering iron or yung hot iron, yung horn buttons. So, you need to handle also the horner firmly. So, dapat na hindi yung parang in-apply mo lang, pag kunting galaw lang ng ulo nung calf is matatanggal na yung hot iron. So, hindi. Dapat firmly yung handle para ma-avoid yung unnecessary injury. So, pag hindi firm kasi, tapos gumalaw yung ulo nung yung calf, pwedeng sa iba mo mai-apply sa ibang parte ng katawan niya may apply yung hot iron. So, after that, you apply pine tar and fly repellent powder after the horning. So, pwedeng ganon para hindi pumunta yung mga flies doon at saka baka makapag-infect pa sila. So, you can apply pine tar. Yung pine tar kasi, this may prevent yung mga flies. Kung wala ka mang pine tar, pwede yung mga fly repellent powder. Then, there are some cases that some of the cows or calf, they have extra teeth na tinatawag. Now, this extra teeth, pwede mo siyang ma-remove. So, yung extra or yung supernumerary teeth, which are not usually aligned with the other, may mark the appearance of the other and at times interfere with the milking process. So, kailangan na i-cut talaga natin ito. Kasi hindi ito talaga yung normal na bilang ng teeth mo. Medyo hindi maganda sa appearance. So, pag may pumupunta na bibili ng mga cow mo tapos nakita na may extra na teeth, this may parang baka ayaw pa nila na bilhin kasi they may consider it as an abnormality. And another one, this may interfere with the milking process. So, mas maganda na tatanggalin na natin. So, cut these extra teeth with a sharp scissor. So, like that. Then, disinfect with tincture of iodine immediately after cutting. So, dapat ng lahat ng ginagamit natin, itong mga scissor, kumbaga, lahat ng to dapat properly disinfected. Hindi pwede na hindi malinis kasi this will lead to infection. And then after cutting, you disinfect yung wound, yung nakat na teeth. Doon sa part na nakat na teeth ng iodine para for the prevention of infection. Then in a commercial herd group, so pwede mong i-group yung calf into 5 categories until they are 1 year old. So yun yung mga ginagawa ng mga nasa commercial herd. So sa group 1, this may consist of the calves that are from 4-day-old until 14-day old. So dito sa group na to, itong mga calf na 4 to 14-day old, this group should be taught to feed from the bucket or pail. So kailangan yan para masanay sila sa'yo and at the same time, ma-introduce sa kanila yung feed. Then, dehorn the calves and remove the extra teats for all the female calves. So, yun yung gagawin. Group 2, this is composing of yung mga 15-day-old to 30-day-old na calf that are fed artificially. So, when we say fed artificially, naihiwalay na ito sa mga nanay noon pa. So, pinapakain mo na lang sila. Ikaw na yung nagpapakain sa kanila. Then, group 3, separate the males from the female and mix the former to the veal calves group. So, you separate, kasi we're talking about dairy calf ito So, yung kukunin natin is yung mga female. So, you need to separate the males from the females. And then, you mix yung male doon sa veal calf group. So, bakit natin imimix siya doon sa mga female, sa mga veal calves group? Kasi, pwede mong i-market itong mga males mo na hindi mo naman kailangan for slaughter for its meat. So, yon. So, also, yung mga female with abnormalities like umbilical hernia, slow growth due to metabolic disorder, this should also be included in the veal calves. So, pwede mo rin siyang i-separate. Kasi nga, may mga abnormalities na to. So, hindi na pwede for milk production. So, pwede mong i-separate, ilagay mo doon sa veal group, doon sa for meat group, at doon mo siya i-raise for meat na lang. Then, in a commercial herd, group the calves, you win pala. So, yun yung 3 categories. Ito naman yung pang-4th. Win female replacement. This consists of all female calves reared as herd replacement. So, yung mga separate ka rin ng mga female calves that are sabihin na natin maganda yung disposition, maganda yung health, makikita mong may vigor and then walang abnormalities. So, you can choose them for herd replacement. And then, they ranges from 4 to 12 months old. And then, the last group is yung male stocker na tinatawag. So, in male stocker, these are male calves and yearlings that had passed the veal stage, which are reared for maximum growth at the lowest cost. So the stocker period refers to the period from the time the vealers are weaned from milk replacer until they are sold. So yun yung male stocker. So since hindi naman talaga natin kailangan yung mga male in milk production, some of it lang since for breeding purposes, pero majority will be separated from the herd, will be separated into the meat group kung saan you will raise them for meat. So yun yung mga male stockers. So with that, that ends my lecture on the herd management of cattle, specifically on the calves. So again, please go over it and thank you for listening.